Hello. Hi, welcome back to Palo Canyon. Today we're in the canyon, and today I'm going to tell you a story called A Ghost in Palo Canyon. See, about the late 1880s, there was a man named William Twitchell, and he was out surveying some property for the XIT Ranch. He was riding along the fence posts. This was just south of Amarillo, and he was headed towards the Palo Canyon. He was just checking on the fence posts and making sure that everything was surveyed properly. He'd been spending several days out there camping each night and day. Well, one morning, he was packing his stuff back up, putting it on the horse. And up out of nowhere comes these wild Mustangs. They made his horse go crazy. And his horse, he had put all of his stuff right back on the horse, and that horse just took off as crazy as could be and ran with those wild Mustangs out in the middle of nowhere. And the guy said, wait, come back, all my stuff's there, what am I going to do? Well, for hours, he went searching for that horse. He was following the hoof trail, couldn't find nothing. He said, well, that's it. I guess there's nothing I can do but head right back to the ranch. So he headed back to the ranch in the way he thought the ranch was. But because he didn't have any of his compass or any of his other supplies with him, he wasn't quite sure where he was going. Needless to say, he got a little lost. 3 days later, he was out in the middle of the canyon out there, and he was struggling, stumbling around, and he was dying of thirst and hunger. And he was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to die out here in the middle of the canyon and nobody will even know I'm here. Suddenly, off in the distance, he saw what he thought was a soldier. It was a black soldier wearing an old Civil War uniform. Back then, they called them buffalo soldiers. Well, he saw this guy and he started waving his hat and he said, hey, sir, come help me, please. Please, I'm dying out here. Well, the soldier walked up to him. He said, hello, sir. My name is Sergeant Bill Simpson of the Buffalo Soldiers and the Texas Panhandle. And William Twitchell said, oh, thank the Lord you found me. I thought I was going to die out here. Well, Bill Simpson handed him his canteen, let him drink some water from his canteen, and he said, come on with me. I'll show you where there's some more water, and we can fill up your canteen too. So he went out there, and they filled up the canteens at the Canadian River. And Mr. Twitchell was so grateful for Mr. Simpson's help. He said, sir, I can't thank you enough, and I want to repay you. And he said, I'm coming back here and looking for you again real soon, right after I get back to the ranch. And so he walked him to the area. He said, sir, Mr. Twitchell, up over that ridge, if you keep following with the sun behind you, you will reach the XIT ranch by the end of the day. He said, great. So he jogged himself all the way to the XIT ranch. He got there and nearly passed out. The next day, he started telling the ranch hands, you'll never believe who was out there, and he saved me. And the guy said, wait a second, are you talking about a Sergeant Bill Simpson with the Buffalo Soldiers? He said, sure enough, I am. He said, that's impossible. The Buffalo Soldiers got rampaged and murdered a few years ago by a band of Comanche Indians out there. He said, no, you're crazy. I know that there's a Bill Simpson. Well, anyway, he put the incident out of his mind, and he just went back home. Well, a few years later, he went back into Amarillo, and he was doing some surveying again for the XIT Ranch. And he was with his guys, and he said, hey, guys, I'm going to show you where that river was that I got the water from that Bill Simpson, and he helped me. They got down to the river. He said, wait a second, that looks like a human skull sitting right there. And so he picked it up, and some of the other surveyor guys, they started digging around. They found some brass army buttons, and then they looked around a little bit more, and right next to those buttons, they found a name tag. William Twitchell turned it over, and it said Sergeant Bill Simpson right there on that brass name tag. And he froze. Well, I hope you enjoyed my story. This is our beautiful Palo Canyon, and I hope someday y'all get to visit here. Bye!